Hey everyone, my name is Ian. I'm doing my little bit here now for the It Gets Better campaign, all the way from Manchester in England. Uh, excuse me. I've been watching the videos on YouTube in the last 48 hours. I've been watching them with great interest, as it's very sad to hear that a young person, indeed four now, in America have chosen to end their lives because of the bullying that they've received, and because they felt that there is no other way. Um, so I wanted to add my two pennies worth, shall we say, to this campaign, and to say that it does get better. Because I mean, when I was a young person, um, we didn't have YouTube. We didn't have the resource that is available now. And I'm genuinely pleased to see all these other messages, all these messages of hope, and these messages from other people talking about their experiences, and um, giving account of uh, what they've experienced has been interesting for me as well, but is also, I hope, helpful for anyone who's going through a tough time and needs to understand that things are going to indeed get better. Now, it's funny, looking back, because if I would have known then what uh, what I know now, uh, things would be an awful lot different. Though, we can always look back in hindsight, um, but things do indeed get better. Genuinely, they get better. Um, Now, I used to get called names, pretty terrible names, in high school, and it was relentless. It really was, every day without fail, all the time. I used to get called fag, homo, bender, ring pirate, you name it, I got called it. And often I was being called these names before I even knew what any of this meant. And that was quite tough. It's very tough to deal with. Kids are cruel, and we're at our cruelest when we are children. And to point at someone for something that they might not understand is quite nasty. I mean, call me big nose, and I've got a big nose. I can deal with that. But call me gay when I don't know what it means. That was quite tough. But you know, kids are cruel, as I say, and often they do it to divert attention from themselves. And I guess the guy that did this to me, and the chap who was the ringleader, shall we say, for the kind of treatment I put up with in high school, um, he he was obviously doing it to divert attention from himself, because he was 4 foot nothing, wasn't particularly good looking, and I don't believe he had a girlfriend. Uh, but I've been lucky enough in recent years to have met him again. He added me on Facebook, and after I got over the shock of him adding me on Facebook, because obviously you can imagine I was quite surprised and a little incredulous at the fact that this chap had decided to message me or try and add me as a friend. After I got over that, I accepted the request, and I messaged him, and we chatted, and we arranged to go out for a drink. And sure enough, the time came around, and the day before we were due to go out for the drink, he texted me, and he said, "You're not going to beat me up, are you?" Which spoke volumes to me, really, because he obviously knew uh, what what he'd put me through. He obviously knew that he'd done wrong, and he obviously knew there was a chance that I could still carry a great deal of resentment towards him, and I did. I did at the time, but I texted him back and said, "No, I'm not going to do that, uh, because that's wrong. Violence doesn't solve anything; it just creates more problems." But when we did meet up, I was able to I was able to tell him exactly, excuse me, exactly what I thought of him, tell him how he made me feel and what he put me through, and he apologised, and he was quite sincere in that apology. And then we had a couple more drinks and went our separate ways. And I'm happy to say that from there I deleted him off Facebook, and I've had nothing more to do with him. But I got some closure from that experience, and the negativity that I'd carried around towards him. Yeah, I got rid of that, and that was a positive experience. So, whilst you may not get that in the future, you might not. I want you to know that, obviously things do get better. Whilst it may feel like an eternity, uh, whilst you're at school, whilst you're being picked on, and whilst you're being called names and bullied, whilst it feels like an eternity, school will be over before you know it, and things are going to get better. I genuinely want you to believe and want you to understand that things will get better. You're going to travel, you're going to learn loads of new stuff, you're going to meet loads of cool people, you're going to do loads of really interesting things, and life is going to be fantastic for you. It gets better. And I sincerely hope that this message at least gets through to some people, or even any of the other messages that you see on YouTube. I hope that somebody, when he or she needs it, gets to listen to one of these videos, or watch one of these videos and take something from it, because it does get so much better. And the chances are that, people, as I say, give you grief because they've got their own issues. They've got a complex because they're short, too fat, too spotty, think they're a bit ugly. They might have funny teeth, a bit like mine. But they've obviously chosen to try and divert attention and to pick on you, and it's wrong. That doesn't make it any better for you, but you just need to, just remember that things are going to get better, because cool people, the guys that you think you want to be, the group of people that you want to be hanging around with, they're going to end up fat, they're going to end up ugly, and it's always the way. And the nerds and the little geeks and the little gayers like you and like me end up ruggedly good looking like myself, obviously, but do end up in a better position and a lot happier, and I've seen it. And if I could go back, it's wrong to wish to change things like that. It's wrong to wish that we could turn back time, because you can't, and you shouldn't really dwell on things. But if I could go back and talk to me, there I am. That's me at 14, 15. And if I could go back and speak to me, I've got hair there. Look, it's gone. It's migrated down here now. But if I could go back and speak to me at that age, I would say, never let anyone put you down because of who you are. Because, you're special, you are unique, and whilst I'm not a God-fearing person, I don't believe in him or her, I don't read the Bible, I don't go to church, and I'm not religious, but I do believe that we all are put here for a reason, we all have our own part to play, and you are special, and you've got a lot to offer. So, I'd say to me, as I'm saying to you now, that whilst you're being picked on, whilst you're being called names, whilst you're turning over inside and feeling generally quite shitty because of the way people are treating you, I would say smile back at them. Don't say a word. Smile back at them. And don't let them think that they're making you feel bad. Because once they start to believe that they're not getting to you, things will calm down. Might not stop completely, I can't promise you that, but I can promise you it will get better. It does get better. I came out to my parents when I was 16, 17, separately. Dad first, mum second. Which just seemed a strange way around, really. I think as a boy, you probably go to your mother first. I don't know, but that's the way it worked for me. And I'm not going to go on too much about it, because I don't really think I need to. But what I would say is that now I have a great relationship with my parents. They're comfortable with me and my sexuality. We don't discuss it because there's no need to, because it doesn't matter. They've met my partners when I've been in relationships, and they've met my friends, and they got on very well with some of my friends, and you know, my family are the same. They love me for who I am, not for what for what my sexual preference is. Okay, it doesn't matter, because in the grand scheme of things, nobody cares. When you get to my age, nobody cares. It doesn't define you. It's not important in the bigger picture. So, it's just unfortunate that when you're going through these formative years, little things like having a big nose or being gay, unfortunately, seems to be a bit of a big deal, and it's not. It really isn't, because things get better. And I'm going to leave you with a little profound message, shall we say? And it's a story of when I told my grandparents that I was gay, and I came out to them, and it's just something that's helped me through, and it really did help me through when I was coming to terms with who I was, and it helped me to live my life and be comfortable with who I was. And it may not be all that meaningful to you, but it meant a lot to me, so I'm going to share it with you anyway. I basically sat down with my grandparents at the age of 19, and I sat them down and I said, obviously you've not seen me with a girlfriend, and I've never spoke of girls, blah blah blah. Though I did have a girlfriend once, Lisa, her name was, and she's linked to me on Facebook, so there's a chance, very small chance, she might be seeing this video. So hi Lisa, if you if you see it. But yeah, so I said to my granddad, you've not seen me with a girl for a while, and I need to let you know that I'm gay. And my gran took off her glasses, and she looked at my she looked at my granddad. So my grandma, she took off her glasses, she looked at my granddad, and then she held my hand and she said, Ian, the way I look at it is some like coffee and some like tea. Now, I think that's quite profound for a 75-year-old woman to say to someone in their late teens. I thought that was quite profound, and that's that's one message I'd like to get across to you, that being gay is not a big deal, and things do indeed get better. So good luck with that, and if you ever need someone to talk to, there's always places to go. There's always people you can speak to. Find them. It does get better. Genuinely, it does get better.